Welcome to Mommy and Me Update 1 postpartum. I had Letty last week. She's actually 1 week old at like 6 o'clock tonight. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aubrie, and I just kind of wanted to carry you through my postpartum journey. But if you are pregnant right now, I would go back and watch all my bump dates because I did them every single week and talked about everything from like symptoms to just, I don't know, I try to keep it real, really. So hopefully these postpartum videos help you out a lot if that's what you're going through. Guys, we made it to the hospital. This is Miss Letty Rowe. So first I'll go over symptoms. There's probably a lot that I will forget about, but for this week, I would say I've been running on adrenaline. So if you're in the same boat right now, that's totally normal. It started to come down as like the end of the week approached, and I started to feel more tired, just because you are losing sleep, you had a baby, you went through labor and delivery, and that's all normal. Any other symptoms? As far like I'm breastfeeding, so for me, my milk came in a couple days ago, so my boobs were like huge and just kind of like tight, not super sore, but you could definitely tell the difference when your milk comes in. I use lanolin like balm on my nipples from like very first day on, and I have had like no callousing or chapping or anything. Like everything's going very well, but I know that's not the case for a lot of breastfeeders, so I might not be the best example of like a first time mom breastfeeder, just because things are going really well and I really don't have many complaints. Symptom wise though, like I said, tired, and then definitely more hungry, but just trying to like jam pack food in when I can. So that helps my milk supply. And then I'll just roll right into emotions because I feel like it's very related to symptoms. I think that it's very valid to feel a variety of symptoms. It doesn't mean that you're not grateful or happy for your new baby and for this new journey. It's just very normal because you're just full of like hormones, and well, I would say maybe you have less hormones now. So the first couple of days I would probably cry like at least 3 or 4 times a day for no really particular reason. It could have been like sadness, it could have been anxious, it could have been really happy. So if you're watching this, just let yourself feel all those feelings, because it's completely normal. However, if you are feeling like super sad, and almost depressed, thinking of harming your baby or harming yourself, make sure to get a hold of your physician right away, because those symptoms are not normal. Right now, at the end of week 1 postpartum, I would say that I feel less like crying. I probably cry like 2 times a day now, and it's usually because I'm very grateful and happy. But around like 4:30 every day, as the sun starts to go down, I get a little bit like just moody or gloomy, because nights are a little bit harder, so you know that it's coming. And so what I have done that has been very, very helpful is just kind of establish a routine for her and myself that keeps me a little bit happy. So we like do pajamas, and I put on music, like worship music, and I have like one particular song that I love to listen to with her, and that's her bedtime song. So it just reminds me of like, being grateful for her and for this new journey. So that is something that I would suggest doing at night. And I still talk about like feeding and breastfeeding just because I want it to be applicable to everyone. I don't know much about bottle feeding, of course, but just speaking to like her schedule, sometimes there would be days where she would eat like every single hour, which does feel a little bit overwhelming, but you just kind of roll with it. And other times she will only, you know, eat every 2 or 3 hours. And sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 25 minutes. It just really varies, but I know she'll get on a schedule. So if you're going through that, I think it's pretty normal, especially as your milk is just getting established. But something that I would suggest is burping before and mid and after, just to avoid any like gas bubbles and belly aches. Normally I think we try to burp like after, and that makes sense to us, but sometimes getting rid of those air bubbles so you're not stuffing them in with more milk is going to be just really beneficial. I'll roll right into sleeping because I think that that's something to chat about. Right now we've kind of got like our groove, but it could change at any time. Like it could change from night to night. But the last 2 nights she woke up every 2 hours, so I at least was able to sleep like an hour and a half at a time, because usually her feeds take like 30 minutes. So I've been feeling great. And then by the morning time, what happens is she's usually done around like 5 a.m. I've changed her, I've fed her, she's like good to go. And Brad wakes up, takes her downstairs, and then she'll sleep for like 2.5 or 3 hours. And I can snooze if I need to. This morning, however, she was like kind of off schedule, so I actually didn't wake him up. And I let him sleep in a little bit longer to like 6:30 because she was still sleeping, and then we did that routine. So it just might change, but that has worked for us. So I highly encourage some kind of like schedule or routine if you can. Newborns though, they're just unscheduled. So I wanted to talk about a different product every time, or maybe a couple products that I've been like just really liking. I didn't know if I would like this. It's an alternative to the Boppy, which I do have a Boppy and I keep that upstairs, but this is kind of like an angled feeder. So you can, like, it's almost like pages of a book, and put them at steeper angles or flat, or if you have them in like the football hold for feeding, or you know, across you. So I keep this one downstairs. I like both Boppy and this. Yeah, either way, I just feel like both work, but this one's from Amazon. I'll try to link it below. Some other things that I've been really liking, I've been using Aquaphor for diaper changes, just like their baby cream. Not cream, I guess it's the Vaseline. Sometimes I use the Snuggle Me pillow, and I use that downstairs on the couch just when she's like, I need to put her down. And then in general, just trying to make her get used to like sleeping on her back for naps and sleeping, so that's not an issue, like falling asleep on me, that kind of thing. She doesn't learn to expect that. And then my favorite swaddle is probably I think it's called Love to Dream swaddle. It's where their hands are up, and she loves it. It works. So to go over a high and low of the week, obviously the high is just having her here and you're kind of on cloud 9. Lows would be trying to figure it out. She had one like fussy night and I had to give her gripe water. She slept really well after that, but just trying to figure out those times when they're like just fussy and you can't really think of why. But yeah, I would say this week was just full of a million highs. So yeah. So just update on Letty, which I call her Letty, but her full name is Scarlett, so she goes by either one. She is like she was 2 ounces up from her going home weight from the hospital, which is awesome. She's just starting to, you know, gain back her weight. She was a big baby, 9 pounds, 5 ounces. So I don't know what she's weighing now, but in a couple weeks, maybe she'll be back at that point. We had the first pediatrician appointment and that went really well. No really huge concerns, just watching. She's got like redness in her nostrils. So if that like grows at all, I need to call immediately because it could be like hemangioma, that kind of thing. But yeah, otherwise she's just happy and pretty easygoing. So yeah. The very last thing is just like healing and what my body's going through. So in labor and delivery, I didn't have a horrible experience. I pushed for 2 hours, but I think that actually helped me out because I didn't really tear at all. I don't have hemorrhoids. So my body's actually healing pretty well. But I did want to show you guys kind of like a spin around of what my body looks like 1 week out. And I don't know what we're gonna compare it to. Maybe like the final week of pregnancy, or we could go back to like week 12 and just compare it to that. Maybe we'll do all three, I'm not really sure. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below, and subscribe if you haven't, because we're gonna do this every single week.